Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog. Today I have two subjects I want to talk about, a mini subject and then on to a major subject, which is the main subject I want to talk about today. But the mini subject first, which is really a follow-up to a vlog that I did a couple of weeks ago, June 5th to be exact. I was talking about transgenderism, specifically about two biological males competing in a girls' track meet, and this should surprise nobody, running away with the contest, winning first and second place with the biological females way back in the order. The reason I'm following up today is because I was talking at that time about, well, it's obvious how unfair it is for biological females, or I'll use the correct word, real females, to compete against transgender males to females who have all the strength of a male but call themselves females. Now, the reason I refer back to that article is because there has been an interesting development since that first article appeared, and that is that some of the girls in that meet are suing for discrimination. They're going to court and making a case that they've been discriminated against. I'm going to read from the court filing because it really sums up what I was talking about. Girls deserve to compete on a level playing field. Women fought long and hard to earn the equal athletic opportunities that Title IX provides. Allowing boys to compete in girls' sports reverses nearly 50 years of advances for women under this law. We shouldn't force these young women to be spectators in their own sports. That's what I said back on June 5th, and it is very heartening to see that these girls are not taking this matter lying down, but they're going to court. I think they've got a very good case, but it also creates a problem for our liberal friends, because one of the problems of liberalism, which I may have mentioned in the past, but I certainly will in the future, I would anticipate in the future, is that liberalism is sinking or is constantly confronted with its own contradictions, because it's really trying to bring together all of these disparate groups of grievance mongers and give all of them everything they want. So here's the problem. The quote I just gave you, it refers to Title IX. What is Title IX? If you don't know what it is, it was a law, well, I mean, it is a law, it's still on the books, that requires universities that get federal money to treat women's athletics and men's athletics the same. Now, I've had a problem with this law, still do, because despite its good intentions, and the intentions are good, I've had a problem with the way this law has been enforced in all too many cases. The law says that women's and men's sports should get the same funding, which is fair. That makes perfect sense. The problem is, what do you do when you have a certain sport where you have, say, 100 boys that want to compete in that sport, but you only have, say, 20 girls, because however much feminists are trying to change our society, the plain fact is that women are not as interested in sports as men are. So in many cases, you're going to find situations where you're going to have more men wanting to play a particular sport than the number of women who want to play that same sport. The logical thing would seem to be that if every female wanting to play a certain sport is able to play that sport, there should be, if you have 20 women wanting to play women's tennis or whatever, then if all 20 women are able to play, then it shouldn't matter if there are 100 men who want to play the same sport, and if you make more places for the men, as long as all the women are able to play that sport. But unfortunately, many schools, could be most of the schools, it could even be all of the schools, they're interpreting the law to mean that if only 20 women want to play a certain sport and 100 men want to play that sport, that you can only make 20 places for the men, so that you have an equal number of males and females playing that sport. To me, that is unfair. As long as you've accommodated all the women, there should be no problem giving more places to men if you have more men that want to play that sport. So that's the problem that I have. But getting back to the main point, because I digressed, as I often do, you're just going to have to bear with me. I guess I'm just a pathological digressor. It's not a capital crime, but I do it sometimes. I try not to. So getting back to the main point, which was that you have for feminists this Title IX creating places for women to participate in sports, but then on the other side you've got the transgender crowd that want biological men to compete in women's sports, which is unfair to these biological women playing the sport. What's the point of this Title IX if you're going to bring in biological males that are going to compete with them and, as this quote says, make the actual women spectators in their own sport? So you can see the conundrum that the liberals have. If you're one of our liberal friends, what do? On the one hand, you have to say that people can identify as any sex they want, and if you're a man who wants to identify as a woman, then you should be able to use the ladies' room, and you should be able to participate in women's sports. In other words, do everything that women do. Well, except maybe have babies, right? But with genetic engineering, who knows, that day may come. But simultaneously, you have to satisfy your feminist base to promote women's sports, but you're promoting sports in which these women will never win because they'll be competing against biological males who call themselves women. I don't know what they do. I know what conservatives should do. I know what this conservative will do, and that's go out, buy myself some popcorn, sit back, and enjoy the show. And you know what? I think I went on so long about this that my mini subject became the whole subject. So my main subject will be tomorrow's subject. So now you have a preview of coming attractions. It's my reaction to the Trump campaign rally where he announced his candidacy and some other thoughts about that. But if I say them now, I'm going to make this video too long. I think I've gone on long enough, thanks to my pathological digressions too, so I take some of the blame. So I'm signing off for now. As usual, thumbs up if you like this video. If you know people who could benefit from the video, well, actually the whole world could benefit from it. If you have time to share my video with the whole world, then you should go out and do it. I'm not going to stop you. But if you have a few special friends that you would especially want to benefit from it, then share the video with them. Share the whole channel even better. If you have any comments, I have a comment section below the video. You can put your comments there. You can also suggest future topics that you would like me to talk about. Then I don't have to think of one myself. Though I honestly am not having any trouble thinking of topics. I actually have the opposite problem, which is having so many things to talk about and trying to choose one to talk about on any particular day. So if you're out there, Fox News, you need to give me my own show, or MSNBC, why not? I would prefer actually not to preach to the choir, but that's another can of worms for another day. For now, just share the video with as many people as you want to. And if you have a Twitter account, you can tweet my URL to your followers, invite them to retweet my URL. And finally, you could subscribe, and then you would know as soon as I post another video, which I hope will be soon. And until then, bye.